Aquarius. Welcome to 8 of Cups Tarot and welcome to your cards for September. September might bring some surprises for you, Aquarius. There's some pretty interesting things going on. I think that you've been through some rough stuff this far, and definitely the cards are talking to me on that as well. And to be honest, this whole conjunction with Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter happening in your 12th house, your house of seclusion, your house of undoing. Oftentimes there are secret enemies. Oftentimes we find that we are our own secret enemies. It's definitely a time where we start to realize where we hold ourselves back. The universe doesn't want to strip you down just out of, necessity or entertainment purposes. And you have to know that. You have to know that when the universe does a 12th house transit, there's transformation in your subconscious. There's ending of karmic cycles, of karmic pain that you may have carried for lifetimes, that may have been affecting your life for as long as you could remember. And a 12th house transit can make us feel like we are very much out of control. Like life just sort of happens to us and there's no time, there's no logic, there's no planning. You're kind of in a state of flow as the universe does what it needs to do to get you back on your path. Now we're coming out of Leo season, which was a 7th house transit for you, in a grand fire. And as we move into September, there is a grand trine in Earth. And September takes on a whole different energy. And it's a lot of ups and downs in September, a lot of highs and a lot of lows. We're sort of on this roller coaster because we are fluctuating between the masculine and the feminine. We are fluctuating still between that Capricorn and Cancer, as Venus in Cancer is opposing all of the late Capricorn, which is the end of your 12th house. These are cycles closing out. And there's rebalancing and there's strength being built. Although you may not see it that way, especially as we move into September. If you're watching this in late August or early September, you're probably thinking, yeah, right. It's not getting any better. It may keep getting worse. And yet if you keep your eyes open, if you are open to new things happening, it is a really great opportunity to see the greater picture. So let's jump in with your cards. You are coming out as the Star. The Star is your card, the card of Aquarius. And it's a card of connection, but it's connection through healing. Healing of yourself. There's a recognition. I get a lot of recognition from this Star card. See, I think the difference in September, Aquarius, is that you're not in a place of blaming yourself for circumstances. I think September allows you to somewhat surrender the way you thought things were going to go, surrender any idea that you had control or a plan. Because the Star card is kind of like when the divine steps in. The divine takes over so that you could see things differently. And the Star card comes out right on top, card number 42, Otter Spirit. You are never alone. Now I'm going to jump around a little bit because I think it's important for the storyline here so we can understand this energy. There's a King of Swords, and you are coming out as a Nine of Pentacles and a Page of Wands. See, I think that there's something that you're curious about. There's something or someone that you are interested in. There's a spark. It's definitely brand new with the Page of Wands. Now, if this is a relationship or somebody you're interested in, it could be somebody younger than you. It could be somebody on a different maturity level. But I'm picking up more of a newness and a curiosity from this Page of Wands. Like something has definitely sparked your interest. Now, along with the storyline is also maybe in the recent past, you might have been involved with a air sign like yourself, or you yourself may have put an end to a relationship or a situation because you felt curious about something else. Maybe there was stagnation within a relationship. Maybe there's a boredom, and so you chose to walk away. If you were dealing with somebody else who chose to walk away, you seem to be in a place of stability at this time. Maybe the initial heartbreak and the pain of the situation is kind of dissipating, and you're starting to look forward to the future again. Maybe there is somebody or something, you know, if you recently even ended a job for some reason, there's promise of something new coming. Page of Wands is always an indication that there is hope. And the Nine of Pentacles, I'm not picking up any energy of that Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles, feeling sorry, feeling as if you are a victim. No, I actually pick up a really firm indication that you are feeling capable, you are feeling strong at this time, that you are able to support yourself. There is no clinging to others. There is no need for anyone to kind of be a certain role for you. You know, you're not looking to others for support. However, your mind is open and you're curious. Your environment is that of an Ace of Cups, meaning there is fertility. There is love in a situation. And I think most of all, Aquarius, you have found a way to truly love yourself. I'm definitely picking up on a situation in which, and it really does feel love related to me. It could also be a long-term commitment, such as a job or something that you had a contract with. Definitely long-term. Because I think at one point it was a form of stability for you. The Four of Wands in the center of your card, coming out between the World and the Death card. Okay, so this Ace of Cups is this love in your environment, this love of self, this self-healing mode that you are in, this really beautiful energy. You know, it's not carrying around baggage from the past. I don't feel any animosity. I don't feel any victimization. I don't feel any blame. And there's definitely indication that things needed to happen to get you back on the right path. And I don't think Aquarius is spending a whole lot of time crying over spilt milk in September. Ace of Cups and card number 16, Coyote Spirit, trust in divine detours. This is definitely 12th house stuff, as that Aries in your 3rd house is forming a square to the activity in your 12th house. And it's also forming a square over to Venus in your 6th house. There's a lot of activity here with this 12th house, 6th house, 3rd house axis, meaning the way that you communicate, your mind is really lit up right now. And I think you're willing to speak up for yourself. Maybe that's the healing that occurred. Maybe you were in a situation that you knew was not for you. A situation that may have chipped away at your own kind of self-esteem and self-worth. And maybe it was Leo season, or, you know, I mean, who knows, because it's 2020 and things haven't been calm or easy yet. So trust in divine detours. September might be a time when you realize that everything that happened to you was a blessing. The World card next to the 4 of Wands and the Death card means that your idea of stability is under transformation. Whatever it is that you viewed as being stable in your life, maybe this is somewhere where you thought your life wasn't going to come together unless you were married, unless you had a partnership. Maybe you felt like you needed this home, because the 4 of Wands does represent a dwelling, a home, a union. It could represent a marriage. It could represent a real estate transaction even. And you have Uranus in your 4th house. There's separations and endings that happen to kind of get you in your place. And so 2020 says, I have spent the last 3 years really transforming who you are on the inside, transforming. There's an evolution for Aquarius. And when we get to a certain point of ascension, things that we had from our past simply do not fit our vibration any longer. And the universe has to clear some stuff out that no longer fits your vibration so they can bring the new things in. And September says, oh, this is where I was headed. This is what I was hoping for. Page of Wands, that spark of passion, that new beginning in something. Ace of Cups can represent a new beginning in love, a new relationship. Maybe September happens and you meet somebody and it sort of reminds you of why things didn't work out before this, of why a certain level of heartbreak had to occur. If you lost a home, if you sold a home and couldn't find, the next place to move, if there was definitely home-related issues, September comes in and it shows you the perfect place. And then you realize why maybe you were putting bids on other homes and they kept falling through and falling through. There's certainly an element of things kind of coming together for you in September. Because Aquarius, I think you've done a lot of work on yourself. I think that you've allowed the universe to kind of strip things away from you that didn't resonate with you any longer. You didn't feel the same way. You may have been in kind of codependent situations. And then you simply realize that by working on yourself, by loving yourself, by healing yourself and those wounds, 12th house transits, especially this particular load of planets in your 12th house, they kind of restructure your subconscious DNA. Everything about the way that you think and feel about yourself has changed. You may have been in relationships, even marriages. You may have lived in homes. You may have had jobs that just simply no longer represented the person that you were. And it may have been a painful situation. You may have felt like you needed to let go of a lot of things that you really loved. At one point, these things really mattered. But by going with the flow and trusting the divine, I mean, look at these two cards that you have here as your oracles. I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided. And fortunately, deep within us, there is a direct connection to the divine. Coyote spirit, trust in divine detours. See, the thing about that 12th house, that open enemies, right, is that they become revealed. 3 of Wands underneath that 4, or 3 of Swords underneath that 4 of Wands. Things needed to be let go of so that you could see yourself in a different light. These things didn't fit you anymore, Aquarius. You evolved. You grew. And it's really beautiful energy. It is for the better. And that 12th house transit, that undoing of the old patterns that we have of self-sabotage, of not believing in ourselves, not believing that we deserve the things we know we truly want. Staying in situations that do not serve a purpose in our life. They do not lead us to happiness. Maybe you were in situations, maybe you were in a job that never truly brought you happiness. It just sort of paid the bills, and you thought that 12th house transit that you would never be able to find anything better. You didn't believe in yourself. You didn't believe in the universe. And then that 12th house transit comes through and it shows you. It shows you by taking away the things that don't resonate and don't fit you anymore. And it gives you enough time to get through the initial sting of, you know, if it was a rejection, a loss of a job, the loss of stability. And that's 12th house when you realize that you didn't need those things to begin with. That's when you really do give it up to the divine, that you really do believe that the universe isn't hurting you. They're making you look at how strong you are, what you bring to the table. Self-worth, you have Neptune in the 3rd decan of your 2nd house, breaking those illusions. Maybe you spent a great deal of your life in energy of shame, in energy of not being good enough, in energy of not having the right people around you. And then 2020 came and it cleared the decks. It gave you a brand new canvas. And September is your reward for the release. Eight of Wands, 3 of Swords, and you have the 7 of Swords and the Empress in reverse. This is what's ending, Aquarius. This is what is over. The part of your life where you broke your own heart. The part of your life where you may have sold yourself short on jobs, on people, on relationships, maybe where you really thought you didn't deserve any better. Maybe there's an Aquarius who thought they weren't smart enough or good enough to ask for more. Maybe there was an Aquarius that felt like they needed to stay in a relationship that didn't value them. Stay with somebody who didn't see your value, and therefore you could not see your own value. So the universe took that away. The universe needs you to see your own value. It needs you to now approach situations differently. You have a different view of what stability is in your life, meaning you don't require another person. You don't require anybody to fill you up emotionally. You do that on your own. And therefore, when other people aren't giving you what you need, it doesn't bother you. It doesn't affect your stability. I think in any way, shape, or form, if there is rejection or coldness coming towards my Aquarius in the month of September, you do not even bat an eye. There is no more taking that personally, because the right thing does and will come along, and it will fulfill you, and it will feel much different. You won't feel like you need to cling to it. You won't feel like you need to sacrifice yourself for it. It's not about all of that work, all of that pressure. When things are meant for you, Aquarius, they just kind of fall together. You are transforming some very old subconscious thought processes that may have haunted you for 20, 30, even 40 years. I mean, when I'm just looking at the center row, the World, the Four of Wands, and the Death card. And there is so much transformation in the foundation of who you are. I cannot tell you the energy that I feel other than that of almost pride and fulfillment, looking over the hurts, not taking the rejection personally, really trusting in the universe. Even if September isn't meeting that person that makes you realize why it didn't work out with that other person, or finding that house that makes you realize why it didn't work out with that other house. Same with a job. If that isn't what happens in September, at the very least, what happens is you fall in love with the universe again. You fall in love with life and what it has to offer. You start to truly believe that beautiful things can and will happen. I don't see anything that indicates hurrying, although 8 of Wands means that something's coming and it's coming fast. There is flow. There's no boundaries. There's no walls. You no longer have boundaries and walls up around the good things in your life that can come in. You believe in them now. And September might just be a series of little things to kind of really turn your attention to the good in the universe, that miracles can happen, that you are open to being guided by the universe. So maybe you ask for confirmation and you get it, and then you begin to ask for more confirmation and you receive, because the idea is the Star card, the Ace of Cups, you've got Queen of Cups. The idea is you are open. You are open to the blessings now where you were not open before. These things had to happen so that you could be open to the miracles that the universe wants to hand you. In September, you are open. And in September, you are realizing all the ways you approached the old situations and what you needed to change. The 7 of Swords in reverse is putting an end to not believing in yourself, not trusting yourself, putting an end to those thoughts in your mind that say you can't do these things, you can't go back to school, you can't buy your own home, you can't find the love of your life and get married and have a family. You can't, all these dreams that you have, and yet there's always this voice that says you'll never happen. It'll never happen. You're not smart enough. You're not good enough. You don't deserve it. That stops. This Mars retrograde, it puts an end to all of that. The Empress card in reverse. This is all about Aquarius finally opening up to what the universe wants to offer you. See, I think Aquarius, you've already done the work. You've done the work, you've made the sacrifices, you've done the right things. You let go of the things when you were supposed to let go. You did the healing. And September comes and it shows you this is why it had to happen. Queen of Cups underneath a full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan. Underneath that, card number 45, breaking down to a 9. 9s always mean you're nearing completion. Time to go. The things that you left behind needed to end. Those ways of life no longer fit who you are. This big of a 12th house transit, there is no doubt you are not the same person that you were in January. You may have a very different set of beliefs, and by the end of September, as the Sun and Mercury moves into Libra, in your 9th house, now the things start to happen. Sun in the 9th house of how we truly believe in ourselves, our ability to just go out and seek the higher vision. It could even bring opportunities of going back and getting a master's degree or continuing your education. Maybe there is, and God bless you if there's a way to do it. Maybe there is travel. Maybe there is opportunity for travel, opportunity for growth and expansion in your 9th house. And the difference with this transit is that now you believe it can happen. You're not denying yourself of the opportunities. Time to go. If you've recently left a job or a relationship, well, congratulations. Because you are about to enter a whole different place in your life. Your challenge, 4 of Cups, comes out above new moon eclipse. Expect powerful change. And the Blessed card. If there are times in September, and there will be times, guys, Mars retrograde, just kind of just making you want to go get this done. I want this change in my life. I can feel this fire in my soul and I want to move towards it. And then there's that 4 of Cups. If there are delays, you have to continue to trust the universe. Things are still getting worked out. Mars square Saturn, it doesn't mean that what we want won't happen. It just means that Saturn is going to do it in the right time. It's going to make sure it's stable, it's worthy of a commitment, it's worthy of the investment. 4 of Cups, do not get discouraged. There's times in September that might seem boring, like nothing's moving, and you need to remember that the universe is always moving for you. It is always working for you. It is always bringing you what you need. Whatever seed you planted is always on its way. because a new moon eclipse and blessed card number 22, this story is changing, Aquarius. Your story is changing in September. Aquarius is moving up with their expectations. But yet there might be an exercise in trusting the universe. That you are open to receive and you stay open to receive and you don't get discouraged because you have faith that the big things are coming. The big changes, the right people, the love of your life, the house of your dreams, the job, the vacation, whatever it is. And you close your eyes and you picture what you really want in your life, that thing that's really going to make you feel like all of this was worth it. And you hold on to that because it's coming. It's coming. That thing that will make all of this seem worth it. That thing that will actually make you say, you know what? 2020 might have been the best year of my life. Certainly the most productive. Certainly the most life-changing. Certainly the most awakening period of my life. 2020 was that pivotal moment when everything had to change so I could have the things my heart really desires. September's a big month for you, Aquarius. Congratulations on the hard work that you've done. You are definitely in a beautiful, confident place in your life. And it really feels beautiful. If there are things that you're still walking away from in September, do not fear, do not delay. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus, you planted those seeds of what you wanted. And if you're involved in things that are not showing you a return on your investment, you quickly let go and move on. It's not personal. Look, it's not personal. It has nothing to do with your ego. Maybe you go on a couple of dates with people and you're like, oh my God, I don't ever want to date again. This is exhausting. Then don't. Don't go on the dates. Don't force anything. The more you force, the more you kind of really go after and attack on purpose. The more you're going to feel like the Four of Cups. Oh my God, it's not coming, it's not coming, it's not coming. But Queen of Cups, when you're open to receive, when you're in divine trust of the universe and you know that it's coming simply because you know in your heart that you've done the work and you deserve it. This is the universal laws. When you love yourself, that person who's capable of loving you on that level will come. You've healed yourself. You've done your work. And the universe might keep throwing you a couple lemons here and there, but the gift is you recognize they're lemons. The gift is you realize they're not on your path. And it doesn't matter. You don't need anybody to like you. You don't need anybody to commit to you. You don't need anybody to fawn after you just so that you could fill your ego, Aquarius. That has changed completely. Man, the turnaround time, it's like the universe hands you something crappy and you don't take it just because you don't have any other options. You turn it down, you don't even look at it because you know you're staying in high vibration, you know your self-worth, and you will wait for the right thing to come along. The right thing comes along. Don't waste time on the things that don't work. Okay, we're not spending a lot of time nurturing red flags to see if they'll change. People will show you their true colors and you will just say yes or no. It's just that simple. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. This works, this doesn't, this fits, this doesn't, this feels good, this doesn't. There's no sacrificing anymore. You only have a couple months of Saturn in that 12th before it emerges in your 1st, and you are so strong, Aquarius. You'll come out so much stronger, so much more prepared to tackle the bigger things that life wants to hand you. This is maturity. This is a really amazing energy. All right, Aquarius. I hope you have a wonderful September. If you're still here, please don't forget to click like, help the algorithms to get the videos out more. And I will probably be doing 1 or 2 pick a cards between. And then I will see you in October. Love you so much, Aquarius. Bye.